G'day guys, how you keeping? Welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. Just a quick video. We're going to be busy tomorrow with the exhibition day at my club, model trains and all things steam. So I thought I'd just give a little quick shout out here. One thing I do a little bit with is Brazed carbide tools. I know, dinosaur guy. I like them. One reason is they're very comfortable with reasonably fine cuts. I did a fair bit of work on some 4140 making tool holders about 4 or 5 months ago, and I just could not get a finish and I could not gain a size, so I did a bit of looking into it. I was using a WNMG insert, which is really good at taking the material off, but its running parameters are best between 1mm and 4mm depth of cut. If you try and take off 3 or 4 thousand, it's bloody useless. So I do use occasionally a TPUN insert, which is like the TPMR except it's flat topped, and I have a lot of success with that. But after watching Don Dyer and thinking back into my dark past, I have had some success with Brazed carbide tools. Not that I possess any large quantity of them, but yes, I've had a reasonable run. I'll zoom you in on a machine I have here. It's probably a 1950s or 1960s wall down carbide tip grinder, called carbide tool grinder, and it's a bit of an unusual item in that it doesn't have the tilting tables on both sides. It's got an aluminium oxide wheel on one side for grinding the shanks back for getting a bit of clearance on the carbide, and a tilt table on the left hand side for doing the carbide. Now, I only paid a couple of $100 for it, and it's in surprisingly good condition, but the big bonus is the diamond wheel has probably got about 5.5 or 6mm worth of diamond material left on it, so it'll well and truly see me out no matter how long I bloody live. So very pleased with what I got for the small amount of money. Now I'll zoom you in a bit. You can see a small selection of my Brazed tools. I would like lots and lots more, and at one stage I had quite a quantity in stock, and not thinking, I sold them out to end users very cheap. I made a few dollars, but should have kept some for the glory box. So I'll zoom you in, you can have a look at what I'm doing. Okay, change of glasses and we're on the way here. You can see by its ancient construction that it's nearly as old as me. The electrics on the top, I don't know whether they would pass modern standard. They're just 3 knife blades that engage and disengage with a flash guard, and it's spring loaded, so when you go to off it springs apart very, very quickly, and anything hot and flashy that would emanate from the knives would be caught under the flash guard and drop down into the machine. Wow. But it's got the 36 grit aluminium oxide wheel on the right hand side for roughing back the shanks, and I don't think that's been dressed for as long as I've been getting dressed. It's in horrible condition. I will clean it up when I can. This is a recessed one side straight wheel, and not quite a cup wheel because the rim and back are only in the proportion of 50% of the machine itself, or the wheel itself, but you know, a genuine recessed one side wheel, and you can see by the changing colour the depth of the diamond material that's still on it, and all I can say is wow. That's a shitload. Some of the old dinosaur tool bits I've come across, that's a right hand tuning tool. They all have a little bit of one spool on the front, a little bit of a chip or whatever, and they get thrown out because not many people have the facilities to grind carbide tools. That's quite a good right hand roughing tool. Now another good thing that these Brazed carbide tools are good for is when some dopey bugger's forgotten to buy some more inserts. That was just in amongst some tooling I picked up a while ago. I don't know what the hell I'd use it for, maybe chamfering. Take them out of the way. Another homemade tool for a specific job, but I'll use that one day I suppose. And the tool has once again been brought to life for a special purpose. It could have been chamfering. Here's one that I do use. ISO R for right hand 1616. It's got a TTM marked on it. I don't know who that is. It's a 15-degree approach angle, but it's a bit weird. It's been ground with one hell of a big radius on the front, so I'll grind a bit of that off as I show you how it works. It's a very good grade of carbide. I've actually taken as little as a thou cut with it, and it cuts beautifully, so I'm quite pleased with using that. I did not, worse luck, get the sliding T-piece that goes in the table. I will make one, maybe, depends how much I use the grinder. I think that was my GoPro running out of battery. I hope not my main camera. No, GoPro, so you can go to hell at the moment. Tilting table, easy enough to see, and adjustable. It's weighted to come up against the stop. The stop is lockable, and it's probably got already 60 years up, and it only have another 60 left in it if the insulation can keep up to the job. Setting up the tool angle, this doesn't have any fancy graduation scales etc. on it, so I just use a cheap and nasty magnetic based clino inclinometer. This particular one is magnetic polycast protractor. That's a bloody big mouthful. Cost me about $17, and for setting up tooling it's saying I'm at 7 degrees, which is near enough. Half a degree either way, I don't think I'd really care, but you can also set what you want, and I sometimes use that when I'm doing 4-facet drill grinding etc. And when you put a nose radius or finish up the cutter, silicon carbide bench stone is the best, and I personally don't like to stand there trying to do it by hand. At least put the stone on the bench or the tool on the bench, and it gives it a much easier go at putting a decent wipe to put a nose radius on. And for what I'll be doing today, it's only going to get a very, very small radius. Okay, time to make some noise, and let's hope no sparks. Away like a champion. Yes, that's coming up quite good, and it is grinding the whole face now. Yep. And luckily, with the 15-degree angle on the tool, I can get my fingers out of the way of the wheel and still grind the tool. And it looks like my 7 degrees is about where it was ground before. Now I can't see the original cutting edge, so I think I've done a good enough job. Now all I'll do is just wipe it on the bench stone half a dozen times to give it a slight radius, and then we'll throw that up in the lathe and see what it's like. Bring you back then. G'day there guys, we're at my old Mazak mate lathe. I can't get you any closer or it won't focus past the tool post, worse luck, but I've just cleaned it up with the TPUN insert. It was covered in rust and crap. It's just a bit of old mild steel rubbish from under the bench. I've taken a couple of thou to take the residual rough grooves off with that. Now I'll apply a little bit of Taptec compound and I'll put an infeed of 1 thou on, and let's see if it'll do anything, or whether the cross slide just won't move that small amount. Okay, that's 1 thou on the knob. And I'm loving this tap tech. The more I use it, it sticks like poo to a blanket. It won't go anywhere, and it does such a good job. Let's see if I can't get a bit more light on the action. Might help a little bit. Right, that might get you a better shot. Now for some noise, sorry about that, and we'll see what we can get. Easy. I don't know whether you can see it from there, but at me feet of 1 thou I can see this tiny little curly weed coming off. Now, most of my indexable tooling would just be rubbing, I wouldn't be cutting at all. And for me this is pretty important because I make things like wheels and axles and I want them to be on size. I have enough trouble coping with the poor old lathe being worn out and me trying to be accurate, and I don't need it to be made worse by bad circumstances. As I said, it's just a little bit of horrible steel from under the bench. On all of my waves and slides I just use, I think it's 36 grade hydraulic oil, very, very thin oil. And I don't have a lot of trouble with stick slip, thank God. Okay, that's enough for this. Now for a grubby old bit of low carbon steel, that's come up reasonably well, and it feels greasy from the tap tech. I'm happy with that. Okay, I'll bring you in. Time for goodbye. Okay, that's it for me for this week, except for the model engineering exhibition. I'll be taking some video of that, of course. It's usually a very good day out. There's a lot of good work. I'm going to be listing my drill grinding and tap grinding attachment. I'll be exhibiting that. I hope Mr. Owen comes along again. He's got a beautiful homemade hit and miss engine from Billet. I don't think there's any castings in it. Back to the job I just did. I put a 1/10 of a thou reading mic on there, and over that couple of inches there was only a couple of tenths difference, and that I put down to being the most worn part of the bed of this lathe. It's had not that much of a long service life, but it hasn't been treated all that well. And that's a bit of a shame because it's a heavy, lovely old piece of gear with a lot of horsepower, although it's a strange setup. Sitting next to me is a set of shells that I bought from IKEA. I'll swing you around a little bit. And I was just sick of not having enough space to keep the crap near my lathe. It's about 550 long by 450 wide, 1.9 high, and it's $120. Sorry, you can't pick it up because it's heavy. It's 39 kilos. But we were buying some other furniture for the house, so I didn't mind. Look, it's only flimsy, about 1.2 material, but overall it's got a 120 kilo capacity, and instead of just having one shelf here and a whole lot of crap on the floor and then having to reach out to the bench, I've now got all of my crap clutched to me. I don't know if that signifies anything. Okay guys, thanks for the support. The channel seems to be going ahead. If you want any specifics that are easy enough for me to do, put it down in the comments. And if you want to throw some brazed carbide tools at me, I would love that because I'm getting to use them more and more. Bye for now.